Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another special episode of MPJ Musical People and Journeys, the rock show. And tonight, everybody, we have a special guest. We have, apart from my erstwhile rock queen Trish again, we have the amazing Jimmy from the band Soulswitch. Welcome to the show, Jimmy.
Thank you for having me, guys. Thank you,
I,
Trish. Thank you, Nigel.
Pleasure, mate. Thank you for joining us. So, why are we then interviewing Jimmy today? Well, because Soulswitch from the US of A are coming with our guys who we're on a journey with, Hearts and Hand Grenades, to tour the UK in August. Is that right, Jimmy?
Yes, August to September.
And is this your first visit to the UK as an individual, as a band, ever?
It's actually the first visit for both. I've been everywhere but the UK so far, I believe. Oh, I haven't been to Africa yet either, but yeah.
So listen, MPJ, we're all about the journey. We're all about the people and the journey that you guys have been on. So let's drill. We're going to get into why you're coming to the UK and your friendship with Hearts and Hand Grenades. But how did this all start for you, Jimmy, in terms of Soulswitch? Was Soulswitch your first ever band, or is this been a journey for you to get to Soulswitch?
Okay, so this is going to be a little bit of a weird but interesting answer for you.
I love interesting.
I've been in other bands that I was a part of, or it was my band as well, and we never really got to do much, just schedules or the climate of what we were trying to do wasn't working at the right time. So I decided quite a few years ago to start my own band, and I started Soulswitch in down south Fort Lauderdale. It's Fort Lauderdale in Florida. Now we live in Orlando.
Right.
So, yeah. So if you want to ask if Soulswitch is my actual first band, technically it is, because all the other ones never got to do anything. So through time, Soulswitch is my first band, but I've been doing this the longest in this band. So
how did it all start for you then? When you were growing up, did you go? And I always ask this question because it kind of fascinates me. Because like I always fancied I never got to play an instrument, and in fact, I got to say, other than listening to rock music, I am totally tone deaf. But if I wanted to play something bizarrely, it would be the trumpet. That's anyway. So how did it start for you though? When you're growing up, did you throw a guitar into your hand and say this is it, or?
Well, when I was really young, probably about 7, my parents put me into piano, and I really didn't enjoy it, so I stopped that. And then they gave me a guitar, and taking lessons from someone was not what I wanted to do. Nope. So I stopped that again, and I just skateboarded, because that's what I was doing, into that stuff, biking, skateboarding. And then when I turned about 13, I met who would be one of my best friends now at the bus stop, and he was playing a guitar. And from that day, I played the guitar, and I taught myself.
So, and who was your friend?
My friend Danny.
Danny?
He's not in the band right now. He works in the industry, but he's not a current musician.
And you're still best friends?
But yeah, we still talk all the time.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And so when was your first exposure then to playing in a band? I mean, you were learning the guitar when you were 13 years old, but at what point did you go, right? Because it's quite a big jump, isn't it? To go, right, I'm not going to play. I'm going to try at least play in a band. So
yeah, it's funny you ask that, because all my friends were playing 13, 14, 15. We were all playing. So be it drums or guitar. So I kind of figured out how to play all the standard rock instruments, like guitar, bass, drums, as we were growing up. And they were always in bands. And I never really wanted to be in a band at that time when I was that young.
Right.
I just wanted to play music because I enjoyed it. I mean, I still played 6 to 8 hours every day.
Wow.
Like I practiced every day. So I loved it. And somewhere in the back of my head, I knew I would probably play in a band, and I wanted to, but I didn't. There was so much going on that I actually didn't do it. I just enjoyed my friends in the bands. So I just went to their shows.
Right.
I hung out with them. And then probably my early 20s is when I said, all right, well, I think it's time to do it. So, and that's when I started.
And what was your early influences then in rock music? What were you listening to? What was your? I mean, come on, because I know at the age of 16 to 19, it was Iron Maiden. I mean, I remember watching Iron Maiden live at Stranger to Strange Land concert, and you know, and prior to that, as a graduate got heavy, was things like Electric Light Orchestra and that sort of stuff. So, what was those early influences for you then?
Oh, totally Metallica. Like, we could play every album front to back, all the way up to the Black Album. Like, I could play all the. I mean, it's still in my head somewhere, but I don't remember everything. But I could play a riff from probably every song.
Excellent. Have you listened to the new album that's just been released?
I actually have not yet, because I want to have alone time with it, and I haven't had time to be alone to soak it in.
Yeah, check out our review. We did a review on it recently. So it's as I kind of say. Well, obviously you must have watched Stranger Things. Have you seen Stranger Things?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, that made me want to play Master Puppets when I watched it. I went to Master Puppets again.
Without any spoilers, right? It's like, hey, we did a great job on that Caravan. Let's just do a whole album based on that. It's just like, if you love Metallica, you'll love the album. But there we go.
Oh yeah, I loved everything from it was Metallica, some Megadeth, a lot of actually heavier music like Sepultura. I actually liked a lot. Yeah. And then I also like Skid Row, Poison, Motley Crue. You know, I like all of it. Guns N' Roses. 80s.
Yeah. And then did you get into the new metal, like things like Linkin Park and that sort of stuff that came after it? So yeah.
Well, one thing that you'll learn about me is I'm still like 13 when it comes to the hunger for new music. So I listen to actually new music all the time in the genre of rock. It could be new metal, hardcore, post-hardcore, pop punk. I listen to all of it. Like it's like I've never heard anything, you know, like it's my first time hearing anything. So I listen to a lot of new bands all the time.
You're open to all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the guy that goes, I only listen to Metallica or Pantera. Yeah. You know, because I have a lot of friends who, you know, as you get older, and it's normal, as you get older, you basically just tend to still like the bands you grew up on.
As if I would do that, hey Nigel.
Well, it's true though, isn't it? It's true. I mean,
it's true. I think it's a true thing.
It's very true, and I was stuck into that 80s, 90s classic rock scene, and then and what changed for me was Amazon Music when my kids got into Amazon Music, and then I looked at the top 100 albums and went like, you know what? Doing COVID, I'm going to listen to every single album, whether it's rap, no matter what it is, I'm going to listen to them. Yeah. And then now, God, mate, I listen to 12 to 16 new albums a month, and it's just like, and I've discovered power metal, for Christ's sake. I've discovered people like Sabaton, and you know, and symphonic metal. Volbeat and Heartsong, but symphonic for metal.
That's what I'm saying. It's all great music is out there, but
fantastic.
But in this day and age, there's just so much.
Oh,
you know?
Have you have you heard of Anti-Flag?
Yes.
I'm going to see them tomorrow night.
Oh, that's awesome.
At Brighton. Yeah, they're just doing 2 dates over here in the UK, so I'm going tomorrow night. But again, I hadn't listened to their stuff until Nigel put them on the list.
I never saw Anti-Flag either. So what's your favourite? Is Metallica still your favourite right now? If I had to say you had to listen to an album right now that's released this year, what would you go to album for this year then?
Oh man, you're gonna put me on the spot. Hold on.
Absolutely, it's what I do. It's what I do. Funny enough.
I like it. Well, I'd have to say it's a toss-up between Alter Bridge's last album. The one that just came out, and my other boys and Seven Dust, their new album.
Seven Dust
is coming out.
Is it?
Yeah,
All
seven
right.
best.
We'll put it on the list. We'll put it on the list.
All
So
right.
we'll put it on the
Yeah.
list. So we'll keep an eye out.
I believe they only released 2 singles so far. The album, I don't know. I don't think the album is fully out, but I've heard the album already, and it's amazing. It's fantastic.
So let's move on. Let's move on then. So Metallica and so forth, and then you went into different bands. So Soulswitch. When did you form Soulswitch? Was it? It's been about 10 years, isn't it, or something?
Oh yeah, so that's kind of a loaded question, right? Because I started it by myself a very long time ago, and then when I moved away from Fort Lauderdale, I restarted it again. I almost didn't restart it.
Okay.
So there was that. And then I restarted it. And unfortunately, through the years, there's been significant downtimes because of personal things with bandmates who are like my brothers, So I'm still friends with them and we still talk all the time. But currently, the newest version of Soulswitch is only, I think, 4 years old.
4 years old. And
So,
how did you?
Yes,
so how did you go about recruiting? How did you go? It's really fascinating. I do find it fascinating because I watched, things like the commitments and then how they audition for band members, etc. There as well. So you obviously had to form a whole new set of people. Was there any people from the old band that came with you, or was it all fresh?
So that's okay. So Matt is probably the longest original member with me. He's the bass player.
Yeah.
Now the drummer I have now, I've known him for a very long time. He actually went on tour with us when our I guess original drummer left the band in an inopportune time.
Yeah.
So he came on, he toured with us, but he's also in multiple bands. So it kind of didn't work out. Scheduling, all that stuff, but fast forward, he's actually been a permanent member of Soulswitch for the last, I think, 4 or 5 years now.
Okay.
Oh, we lost Trish.
Yeah, she's going to have to do something. That's okay. And
that's okay.
Okay.
And then the guitar player, the lead guitar player now, I've played with him over probably 10 years ago as well. So fast forward now, he's been in the band for I think about 3 years. But it's basically it's people that we've known through the circuit, but we still audition because sometimes even as you're a great musician, you might not fit in a certain band. And that's just the way
absolutely.
It goes,
absolutely. That's in any walk of life, whether it's a job, a you actually got to like the people you're going to spend a lot of time with, haven't you? So, So your role in the band, lead singer or lead guitarist, or what's your role then?
My role?
Yeah.
My role is I play guitar.
Yeah.
I write most of the music. I actually write the music, and then I'll bring it to the band, and we adjust what we need to adjust as a band. Or come up with a new part if we have to. I can also play all the other instruments, but I picked up the guitar loving rhythm guitar. So I love writing songs, I love rhythms, I love all that stuff. Now, having said that, I can play solos and leads, but I do that on my own for fun. I don't really like to do it on stage. Sometimes I do, but that's not the part of the music I love. So I leave that up to Kobe, my lead guitar player. I let him have the shred fun, because he's into that.
And who's your lead singer then? Because he does not look, apart from the cross, he does not look like a rocker with his short hair.
Oh, Paul. So Paul joined the band 4 years ago as well, but I've known him for probably quite a long time. And him and Tom. So Trish has an old picture of us behind her.
Right.
That is Tom, who's like my brother. I still talk to him, see him every other week or whatever. He had to go take care of some stuff, so when he left, brought Paul on. And funny enough, if you actually go through YouTube, we're playing at the House of Blues, and there's a time when Paul came up to sing a song with us.
Oh wow!
When Tom was in the band, so. We're all like brothers, and these are I've been blessed to have 2 great singers back to back that are like my brothers.
Right.
So it's fantastic. I can't ask for anything more than that. If they leave, I'm probably just gonna be like, okay, I'm not gonna do this. I'm done with this.
How would you define your music then, so if somebody is kind of who knows the rock music, and there's all sorts, isn't it? You know, there's generic rock, there's rock and roll, there's heavy metal, there's power metal. How do you define? How would you categorize your brand of rock?
Okay, so how the band categorizes it is we say we're hard rock / modern rock metal kind of, because it's not full metal, but we are diverse enough that we've played both shows. We played an all rock show and we've actually played a metal show, and we can fit in either one. But writers before that have done articles on us actually nailed it on the head, because we can't really describe us, because we're just being us. But they said that we are a cross between 3 bands to them, and it was like Breaking Benjamin meets the aggressiveness of Seven Dust with singing like Incubus.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like those 3 if you were to melt it together, I guess.
Yeah, it's there is a lovely sound coming out of rock music right now over the last 4 years, and I would certainly categorise you into exactly that, which is that modern. It's heavy but more modern rock, and there's some great Beyond the Black, because people have said Beyond the Black is a power metal band. I don't think they are. I would categorise them with you. Alession, which has just been amazing. Phoenix Rising. There's some really really good bands that fit in that one that are obviously influenced from what I now call as that generic kind of rock category, but with that more bassy, heavier metal kind of vibe to it as well.
Yeah.
So, and I would certainly put you into that category for certain from that perspective. So yeah, I think that sound is for me right now is probably one of my favourite sounds that I'm hearing in that heavy sort of a metal category or genre, if you like. I'm loving that sound, loving it. So
great.
So everything I've heard from you has been quite exciting. But I'm going to criticise you now. One criticism that I have.
Okay.
There's not a blood enough of it, right? Where's your album?
I know.
I want more, and you're not giving me any more, for God's sake. What's going on?
You know what? So Nigel, here's the thing. I was actually just having this conversation with the guys 2 days ago. We just played a show 2 days ago.
Right.
So when we were together, I said, look, and it's going to sound like an excuse, but it is what it is. Every time we try to record music, something gets in the way. So there is more music. We have more music. So right now, people don't know. So you'll know first.
Exclusive. Hey, hold on a minute, Jimmy. This, ladies and gentlemen, exclusive to the MPG Rock Show. You heard it first. Go, Jimmy.
Okay, so we actually recorded another single recently, but we're in the process of trying to mix it. But It's just so hard to get it to our mixer. Plus, I'm the one. So this is the first time that we're self-producing fully.
Right.
Like, we've produced the other songs that you've heard, but we've also been with award-winning producers when we're doing it. This one is really 100% us.
Right.
And I want to get it right, so there's a little bit of time there, right? So, but the other part of that, the part 2 to that is, one has already been done. It's in the chamber. So we can release it at any moment, but the way you release songs nowadays is more of a campaign style, because I could put it out right now on YouTube, but it's only going to get, say, a few thousand hits. If I do it with a PR marketing, campaign it, get it in the right channels, it's going to hit way more than a couple thousand views or listens. So that
are you actually signed with a record label? Do you have a record label then, or not?
Currently, we do not.
Right.
And currently, we don't have management. So we've had 4 or 5 management companies. What the best one we had, I must say, was when we were in 2013 or 12. We were with Prospect Park, and they're the ones who managed Guns N' Roses, Five Finger Death Punch, Smashing Pumpkins, Korn. So that was really great back then. but then they had kind of a redoing of their thing. And they didn't actually get rid of us. We actually left them because we thought we were going to a better management company, a different one, and that was not the case. So technically, when we don't have a management company, I manage the band, which is a lot of work, and it's not what I want to do because I just want to write music and be a musician. And that's really what I want to do. But in this day and age, you have to wear multiple hats as well.
So what's your daytime hat then? What keeps the bills being paid?
Well, when I'm not playing music, which is I still play every day, but daytime, I work for the defense industry, Department of Defense.
Ooh, okay. Is that in a specialty, like a programmer or developer or something like that?
I could do some of that stuff, but I'm more specialized in systems integration, and I'm a technician. So
okay.
Can't say too much, but yeah.
No, absolutely. We won't have an exclusive there about the inside of the American Defense Organization with Jimmy.
Now, when I see you face to face, it's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of get it. I get it. So you obviously just a big jump though, coming to the UK without an album, with maybe I mean, 8 songs, 9 songs, maybe a bit more. Obviously, you've got some old stuff as well. You've got a lot of old stuff.
We have,
but
I haven't counted how many songs we have, but if I'm going to guesstimate how many released songs we have, I would say we have, let me see, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I think it's like around 17 songs we have released.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
So it's a big jump. Go on in, Trish. Trish, I know you're itching to jump in. I'm
hogging. Trish, let me have it, Trish.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, gosh, where's my question? How did you come up with the name of the band?
So that's there. This is a not so good story. It's just a whatever answer. So we were sitting around, and the original name of Soulswitch used to be Stalemate, from the chess move, playing chess. Okay, so, and then after about a little while, months or maybe almost a year, I found out that there was a band already named Stalemate. So obviously we don't want to try to fight over a name or whatever the case may be. So we sat down and everybody was coming up with names. And by the end of it, what really happened was we all liked the word soul and we all liked the word switch. And we just put it together.
As one word.
As one word. So the kicker to that is Soulswitch is one word, but both S's are capital. If you notice, if you see it anywhere, it's always the 2 S's are capital. Except for iTunes, for some reason, they won't fix it. So I don't know why Apple Music won't fix it. And so it's, regular there.
And also, on your EP, As It Sings.
Yes.
What is your favourite track?
Ooh. That's my favorite album, by the way.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I got my research. I've got mine.
I would say, I mean, it's going to sound boring, but it probably is Change. It's either Change or Saving Me. But Saving Me took a minute, but Change. Whenever we play Change, that's the one, I mean, what about you?
The One Thing.
The One Thing? Oh, yeah. That's a great song, too. Yeah, we play that. We make sure we play the ones that people love, and that's one of them. So.
Oh, good. I look forward to hearing that.
Oh, yeah.
It needs to be for me, right? When you wrote it.
I will dedicate it to you.
Oh, thanks.
So why the UK then, Jimmy? I mean, it's a big step, isn't it? It's no, it's fine. Trish has to prod me because sometimes I just get carried away and I go, Trish, who? Oh, there you are, my lovely Trish. But why the UK? I mean,
well, we were doing. I mean, obviously, we play in the state of Florida quite often, or what have you. We've toured all the way up the east coast of the United States. We've done fly dates in California, LA. We've done a little bit in the middle of the state. We haven't been able to tour in a while because of COVID, first off. And then second, a lot of band issues. Not bad, just issues that, take up time and you can't do stuff. Yeah, life. Basically,
Jimmy.
Life
Life
right?
gets in the way.
Yeah, life. Yeah. Life gets in the way. So when we played with Hearts and Hand Grenades in Orlando, we hit it right off when we met. We didn't even play music yet. We were just in the back talking, and we got along right away. Great guys and great girl. So we were just talking. They played their set, and then a couple bands later passed, and then we got to play our set. And then afterwards, they had told me that they were going to go on a tour in the UK. And I said, "Oh, that's great. If you need a band, let me know." And it's funny because I thought in my head that Mike, you guys know Mike, the guitar player. Okay. I thought in my head that Mike was in his head was thinking, "Oh, this guy's talking, shit." Like, because when people say stuff, they usually
don't not mean it.
Yeah, they don't mean it. So if you know something about me, when I say something, I mean it. It's not. I don't really know how to not say what I mean. If I don't mean it, I just won't say it. So whatever.
So what he's saying there, Trish, is that he will play that song for you when they come over. He means it.
I know.
Yeah, I mean it. It's just gonna happen. So, long story short, we were talking again, and I was like, "Yeah, just let me know if you want to make it happen." I said, "I'll definitely go. I'll you guys go first. Let me know how it works out." Which was the March run that they did.
Yeah, that we went to. Yeah.
Yeah, and But I knew by, I think, September or November, he had asked me, he's like, "Hey, do you want to go to the UK?" I said, "Yeah, let's go." And I said, "When do you want to go?" He goes, "August." I said, "All right, I'll make sure everything's in line on our side." So we, obviously, every couple of weeks we would talk, like, is everything getting worked out on that end versus my end? Because it does take time to plan a tour.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially a far one. Like, if I was doing a tour here, I would do it probably 3 to 4 months out. This one was probably this was like 8 months out, 9 months out. So it's like that's the time you would do it. So he worked out. He came back in March. We talked more, and then I just wanted to make sure it was worth the while for both bands, and it made sense. And when they came back, they loved it, and they were like, "Yeah, let's go. You guys ready?" And I made one call to the guys, and then I bought the plane tickets. So. That's it.
So what did they? Because obviously we saw them. We had lunch with them and everything. Because we absolutely adore them. They are just
That's an Anglo t-shirt. Just saying.
They hit our sweet spot, and they've got a sort of soft spot. We just hope, because we're very honest when we give our album reviews. We just hope that the next album, which I'm sure is going to be amazing. But it's a big commitment. Now, what did they say to you, though, when they came back? Because I know that you've got to start small, but some of the venues they were playing, maybe 30, 40 people. So what was their feedback to you then, for you to go, "Wow, that sounds amazing, let's go"?
Well, the truth be told, I mean, I've played for thousands of people before. I've also played for 5 people before. Like, it's just when you say there's only 30, 40 people there, it sounded like you're asking me, is it worth it to do that? Yeah. But here's the thing. We do it here, not as often anymore. Now it's usually packed, so it's good. But everybody has to do that. You have to start somewhere. So if I come over to the UK and say I play for 30 people, that's fine, because next time there'll be 60 people.
Yeah,
and then next time it'll be 100. So there's always a build, right? You can't just do it I can't expect to come there and play for 5,000 people. I can't expect that, because I have fans in the UK, because they've seen me open for Alter Bridge or Tremonti, so they know who Soulswitch is. That's just
Tremonti.
Oh. So it's fantastic. Yeah. But the thing is, now we get to come over there and show what we can do. So the only thing that Mike said, he was driving us crazy.
Yeah, he didn't like that bit.
Yeah. I bet, and the parking.
The parking.
He went on about the bloody parking.
That's all he kept telling me, and me and Mike are straight up guys, So when he's like parking sucks, I go, well, you know what? It is what it is, dude. Like it is what it is.
I've said to him, mate, the UK has a huge amount of population and is like a 30th the size of America. So yes, parking is an issue.
I get it. I get it. I'm only worried about driving on the wrong side.
Well, that would be a problem.
Right side.
That would definitely definitely be a problem.
For you, it's the right side. For me, it's the wrong side. I'm not saying it's the wrong side.
It's always the first few minutes. It's the first first kind of few miles until once you get used to it, you quickly adapt, don't you? But okay, so.
But the kicker to really to answer your question was Mike and Stephanie are saying they love rock music over there. And you know what? I love rock music, so let's get together and enjoy rock music. Be it I'm doing it for you, or the other bands on stage are doing it for you. I'm there. I'm there for the show, and I'm there to give you a show. So.
Yeah. And how you? So they use Midnight Tornado in terms of that management. Have you left the everything to Mike to organise in terms of that? Have you been involved at all with Midnight Tornado?
Yes, I have been. We've been on a group chat, with Midnight Tornado and Mike and me, so I know everything that's going on. More so, if there's just a question that doesn't need to be answered by Midnight Tornado, I just deal with Mike about it because he's already been there. He just came back, so it's fresh. Anything I'm going to ask him is fresh.
So the other thing is, in terms of financing this trip, because Hearts and Aggregates use all the White Raven Downs kit. Are you getting the same with another band in the UK, or how's that going to work out with you then?
Yeah, so this time around, we are also using the other band's kit. I think Mikey Ball and the company on the first week, and then the second week we'll use the Hot One too. So what we'll do also is I will be bringing some gear for backup, or if I feel I need to use it, because we all use full stacks here.
Yeah.
Like we have really big stuff. So it's the day and age of, using Kempers or, modelers or stuff like that, which is digital. So we're bringing a bunch of that with us, and we'll see what they have, and then we'll make a choice if we're going to use their stuff or our stuff. Now, obviously, we have to use their drums because it's a drum kit. But we're bringing our own guitars and bass guitars, drumsticks, kick pedals. It's called breakables. What we're bringing is called the breakables. They're bringing the solid backline is what they're bringing. So, and we won't stand around watching people set up. The fun part is, one band now has 15 to 16 people helping them set up one line of.
Oh, your rodeos as well. You're all mixed in, aren't you? Really? So.
And I actually have 2 roadies coming with me.
Wow.
So.
You've mentioned a couple of big bands that we reviewed. Tremonti was one of our early. Their Marching in Time album was one of the first ones that hit our Hall of Fame, and it was a fantastic album. You say you've opened for Tremonti and Alter Bridge, is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
So how did that come about? And I asked that question because Mike told me a fascinating story about how you have to literally buy that slot. Was that the case for you guys, or did you have to buy that slot, or did you get invited on, or how did that work?
We got invited on. So the Tremonti, the debut for Tremonti, his first album, was downtown Orlando, and we have a relationship. So they just called me and asked me if I wanted to open.
Wow.
If I was available. So we did 2 of those with him, and then Alter Bridge, the drummer. I was hanging out with Flip, the drummer, and he was like, "Hey, you wanna come play at open for Alter Bridge?" And I said, "Yeah, why not?" So we just play with him.
And when was that?
That was quite a while ago. That was on the Fortress album, I believe.
Right.
So the date eludes me. I would say that's 8 years ago?
Okay.
Or more?
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay. So hopefully you can leverage some relationships in the future and make that happen again, maybe in the future. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, I mean, well, here's the climate now is, I mean, I still talk and hang out with everybody. You know, we're all friends, but I know, I know how it works. You know, like when you said buy on or the schedule. You know, for me to say, hey, you know, is it cool if we play this show with you? That's not how it really works anymore. It's not that they didn't want me to, but they have, you know, they have management, they have a team of people doing things.
Yes.
It's already set in stone 10 months before it happens, or
Absolutely.
12 months.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, it's got to be
Now,
planned.
having said that, though, things do arise sometimes, like, say, the band's on tour with them or a band on tour with any other national band sometimes get sick or they get dropped off. The venues here do reach out to me and ask me if I want to open for like Dirty Honey. When Dirty Honey, I guess I think it was their show at Hard Rock. Something happened to the opening band. They asked if we could play it, and we couldn't play it, so we didn't do it. But we get those kind of relationships is what I have with venues. Been doing this for a while, you know. And they know Soulswitch over here, so that's kind of cool.
Friendship aside with Mike and Stephanie, I'll ask this question from a guy in the know. How good do you think they are? How would you rate House and Hand Grenades?
As a band, or
yeah, as a band.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Like when I watched them play at that festival, Stephanie has a great voice. I love her bass guitar, her bass playing. I mean, Mike and Kenny,
yeah,
fantastic. Like Kenny's a great guitar player. Mike's a great guitar player. So watching them just do their thing. Now, I know they had a different drummer when they came there.
They got Corey now.
Yeah.
Yes. So I don't know how Corey is. I heard he's fantastic. So
it's good.
Nothing, you know. That's. But as a whole band and sound, I loved it. And I told them this after they played, because going back to how I speak personally, I don't need to say anything to you after you play.
No.
But if I come to you and say I like what you did and I liked how you sounded and I said your guitar playing was great or this or that, I'm actually coming from my heart. Like I in it. Yeah. And I said that to them after they played.
Yeah.
You know, so, and I'm a genuine person. I just don't like to, you know.
No, absolutely. Trish, I'm aware.
Yeah, if I'm not going to say it, I'm not going to say it.
Trish, I'm fully aware that I'm finding Jimmy a very fascinating conversation. So, have you got any more questions before I carry on, shall we say? Because we're here for the next 5 hours. That's it. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, whatever it takes.
How do you go about writing your songs?
Multiple ways. Sometimes if I'm actually, the weirdest way it happens is I'll be laying in bed and a lot of times I can't sleep. So I'll start writing a song in my head. And then in fear of not remembering it when I wake up, just like, you know, a dream, I'll go and hum it into the phone, or I'll go play it real quick and record it into the phone, and then I go to sleep. But most of the time, I'll go upstairs. I have a studio in my house. We're not in it right now because I have family staying over, so they're taking up my studio. So I'm in my wife's office. But if I have an idea, I just start playing it, and then I flush it out. So funny enough, if you see the titles of the songs, you'll see a V and then a number, which means the version of it.
Yeah.
And I have songs that have been up to like version 20. Like I just keep, because I'm not the guy who gets married to, just because I wrote a riff or wrote a song, I don't get married to any parts, because part of being a professional is you can't say, oh, just because I wrote it and I showed the guys and the guys were like, I don't like that part, it's not personal. If they say they don't like a part, it's not a personal attack to me. Or if I say it to them, it's not, we're not personal when it comes to the product of quality of the song. Like, if it doesn't sound good, it doesn't sound good. I don't care if my mom wrote it. I'm not using it.
Well,
you know?
It's what makes an artist into a great artist, because an artist generally is you've got to have self-belief, haven't you? But you've got to learn. You've got to take bits from people and then make it your own, and build on that building block. So to make it truly great, and I think that separates from your run-of-the-mill artist to what become potentially great artists. And great artists are people who have their own vision but are not scared to bring in and learn from other people and have some of the greatest, particularly music. I think collaboration is just, I think,
you never stop learning. You never stop learning. I say I am a horrible guitar player, and I've been playing for a very long. I just say I'm horrible, and then I just work at it, my craft every day, because you can never stop learning, and I'm gonna learn till I'm dead. Like that's it. That's the way I am with music. To answer your full question, Trish, so I might write the intro to a song, or I might write a verse. It depends how I'm feeling, what it is, the emotion. And right from that moment, right after I write that riff, I record it in my studio. I write the drums to it, and then I'll go back and I might write the second guitar part to it. So, and then the bass can come, or I'll write samples. I might play some keyboards. I might put some violins. It just depends what the song is asking for. And then I don't work on the lyrics. Paul solely does the lyrics, but when he comes over here, we produce them together. So if he comes in with like a word or a line or a melody that's not working, not that it's not working, but I hear something I think is better. Yeah. We just bounce it off each other. We bounce it off each other. We do it, and then we'll both agree or disagree. And then we'll just
compromise.
Move on. Yeah, we just keep moving until, and that's the greatest part about everybody in my band is they're professional, and they know it's not personal. It's just we're trying to make it the best it can be, So
every rock band, because I'm sorry to interrupt here, because I'm going to carry on this theme of writing a song, because so far every flipping rock band that we've interviewed say the music always comes first, and then they put the lyrics to the music. Does Paul ever come to you with, I've written this song, write some music to it?
He has once. I still have that melody. I've always been meaning to go back and write music. So here's the thing. I've also write other music, not just for Soulswitch. I write a lot of music. So
okay.
I've done that before. I actually enjoy that because not only is it something I don't do often, but I find it challenging, but I also find it very fun because I can make it happen within about 10 minutes. I can write something to it. So it's not really that hard. The hardest part about writing a song, be it to the lyrics first or vice versa, is after you let it settle for a day and you go back and listen to it, is it right? Is it good enough? That's what it is. I can write a song for you right now in like 5 minutes, but it'll be okay, but it might not be the best thing I've ever written. I want you to hear the best thing I've ever written.
So
who you remind me of?
Go on.
Who's that?
He's the nicest guy in rock and roll that I've seen on documentary. Is Dave Grohl. You really remind me of him, like in your whole personality and how you feel about music and how you write music and what it means and everything.
Oh, thanks. I've never met him. He seems like a very genuinely nice guy, which I like.
I saw him and the Foo Fighters last year at the tribute concert at Wembley.
Oh, that's great.
And of course, their brand new album is out in less than a week.
Oh, yeah, it is. But yeah, that's who you remind me of.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I'll take that as a compliment.
Very much so. Very, very, very much so. So you say you write other music. Is it, what do you mean, other music outside of the rock genre or just within the rock genre?
Both. I do other stuff too. I've written a little bit of pop music. I used to write what would be considered now probably more to like trap or dubstep is what they call it now, but I used to write techno beats back in the 90s, 2000s, more 2000s really. But I also have been writing like a little heavier, like kind of post-hardcore music. Like if I had a band to compare it to, it would be like a cross between let me see. Something, the heaviness of maybe Wage War, but with electronics in it. Some because I love 808s. Do you know what an 808 is?
No.
808 is a really deep bass drop.
Okay.
It's like when it shakes everything.
Okay.
So I do that with basically metal music, rock music.
And have you written a hit, or for who's been your biggest? Have you written a song for somebody who's had a hit at all?
No, very long time ago, me and my friend co-wrote a song, and we tried to sell it to. I don't know if you know a boy band. You know boy band. You know what a boy band is.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a boy band very long ago, named O-Town.
Okay.
They're kind of like the same era of Backstreet Boys and NSYNC.
Okay, yeah.
So we tried to sell them a song, and from what I remember, this is so long ago. I wrote my part literally in 5 minutes. That's how it can happen in 5 minutes. Like you can come up with something really nice. But I think the band liked it, but the management didn't like it.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. Sometimes it just doesn't right. But it's funny because people who have heard the song love the song. So I said it's their loss. So I actually talked to my friend. Actually, I wrote it with the guy, Danny, who got me into playing guitar.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
That's who I wrote it with.
Fantastic.
So I talked to him not too long ago about it, and I said we should try to re-release this or sell it to someone else. It still holds up. I went and listened to it the other day. So it holds up. We just got to re-record it for modern sound.
Yeah.
Because it's more of that like pop R&B sound, but it needs to be a little more full now,
Yeah. Hey,
So,
guilty pleasures. I've been there, front and center with Take That. And I make no apologies for loving Take That. None whatsoever. None whatsoever.
Okay.
It's got to be done. It's got to be done. And Fall Out Boy, their latest album, is crazy good. Crazy good. Oh, their new album,
right.
they perfected the art of indie rock. It is phenomenal, their latest album. Absolutely brilliant. So, okay. So you're coming to the UK.
Yep.
Is there any particular venue that you are looking forward to the most, other than Bournemouth, obviously, where yours truly will be? But I mean, where you should be singing your heart out, and where you present, because you're going to write a song for the MPJ, I'm sure you will. Will inspire you. Is there any particular venue or place that you are looking forward to playing the most?
I only checked out a few of them, but from the sounds of it, I think I'm gonna like Cardiff.
I'm going there as well. I'm going twice.
Okay.
Just saying.
So I need to do my due diligence and really run through the list some more.
Yeah.
And check out the venues. But Cardiff looks good. Even Swinton, the first one, looks interesting too. Like all of them are going to be great because we're going to be there and we're going to rock. Like that's
they're
what
all
we do.
going to be different as well.
Yeah. We're there. I've played so many venues. It's fine. Like as long as I'm not outside in the rain, we're good.
Well, it is August. I mean, and you can't write a rain off. Yeah, and it is Wales. Wales is my home nation. I am from Wales, so Cardiff is my capital. So absolutely. So you're going to be kind of rocking down there as well. So, for sure.
How's the weather going to be in August? Is it?
It should be blazing sunshine. No, I mean last year we had a heat wave. Yeah, we had like 40-degree heat. So the weather has been, climate warming and all of that sort of jazz, really. But August should be lovely. So,
okay. So like Florida, I'll just be coming to Florida over
Absolutely
there.
I would just pack for every eventuality to be on the safe side.
However, the British weather is clementine, so you could. Be in Canada, so it can rain quite easy. It could be Florida in a hurricane season, but it generally is. August is generally lovely weather, and it'll be very warm. So,
okay.
Great from that perspective, anyway. So that's fantastic. So, well, listen, Jimmy, we're coming up to an hour. It's been absolutely fascinating. Trish, have you got any final questions for the wonderful Jimmy?
I have one more.
Go for it.
Okay.
What do you hope people will take away from your music?
Oh.
Merchandise.
You know me, I love a bit of merch.
Sorry, couldn't resist.
Let's see. I want them to enjoy our music, feel what we put our time and energy into, and we love playing music. You'll know from the first song why we are there. You'll understand why we do this.
Yes.
Even if we're having, even off the first song, sometimes I'm like, knock on wood, this ain't gonna happen. Like, say there's a sound issue and you could barely hear us because we're just trying to fix it all.
Mm.
From the moment we start playing to the moment we stop, we don't stop moving. We give you all of our
You
energy.
want us to feel what you're feeling.
Yes, we give you what we have. So 110%.
Okay. So, look, I'm just going to finish off with what you're saying about how quickly you can write music. So there's no excuse here, Jimmy. Get your finger out, get an album written so that we can review it and tell the world how amazing
but that's not the
sound.
problem.
How amazing
That's
the sound.
Nigel. He's telling you that.
I don't want to hear it, Jimmy. No more excuses. No more excuses.
Okay.
Get the album written. Get that, because you do have a really good sound. I mean, a really good sound. I mean,
we really appreciate that. Thank you so much. For that.
I mean, we don't review EPs. We stopped reviewing EPs and we review albums. So, you've got to get your finger out and you've got to write an album because, you've got a great sound and and everybody needs to experience that. And then when you next, get this tour done and then come back when you release your album.
Right.
I mean, if Hearts and Agonies are doing it, you've got to do it. So,
yes,
because
I got it.
Honestly,
challenge accepted, Nigel.
Good
Challenge
for you.
accepted.
Good for you. Good for you. Because genuinely, I got a bit frustrated because I listened to a few of your songs on YouTube and then went, wow, this is my sort of rock. I love the sound. And then went, right, where's the album? And I couldn't find the album. So you
messaged me again. They've only got EPs out.
I know.
Yeah, we got EPs, and then we did and I understand that we still want to do an album. We would love to do an album, but a lot of artists are releasing singles, and that's what we've been doing. Just trying to keep it going, because if we record 3 songs at a time, that's a substantial amount of money just for that part, and then just to market it. So I agree with you, though. I do want to do an album. We will do an album, and we'll see how long that takes. Hopefully not as long as we think.
Just right. No, do it for me, okay? Don't put a cover in there. No covers.
Oh my God.
No covers. No screamo. A little bit. You can have a bit of screamo. No screamo. No growlo. No satanic voices in it. I'm just telling my bugbears here. If you want a 5 off me, I'm telling you what you have to do. Right? Okay. Just telling you that's what you have to do.
That's fair.
But and 40 minutes, 10 songs, perfect size. Perfect. There we go. So,
all right.
All right, Simon Cowell.
I know, right? Well, I'm just saying. I love symphonic metal, right? I love it. I'm an absolute vision. If you get
not symphonic metal.
No, you're not. I'm just telling what I love, right? And I'm just saying that there's been a trend. If you listen to Visions of Atlantis with their Pirates album, blow your mind out. They're amazing. And but then suddenly there's other symphonic, and they start inbreeding industrial metal in there, where they've got this beautiful angelic voice, which the rock perfectly matches and contradicts anyway. And then they start putting industrial metal in there with satanic kind of voices, if to try to juxtaposition the voices. And I just hate it. It's just driving me mad at the minute why people are doing that. But that's just my personal taste. So, but there we go. So, I know you're not symphonic metal, but I'm just saying.
Fair enough.
But there we go. Hey,
I like some power metal. I like some of that stuff. I listen to all the music. So
yeah, I know, right? But check out Visions of Atlantis. Oh my God, they won our album of the year last year. And they were amazing. But anyway, we go off there. But let's talk about you. You have got an amazing sound. I think you're in a sweet spot. If I'm brutally honest with you, the trend that merger of that sort of bassy kind of more modern heavy rock. Some cracking bands out there at the minute, and I think there's a trend towards that because it's really, really cool. And I think you've got that, and so you need to make that album. But anyway, there we go. That's my rant over with.
Nigel.
My rant is over with. And I had what do I know? I just host a podcast, for God's sake. I know nothing else. No.
God help me.
So, Trish,
Trish, do you have anything?
No.
Oh no, I think you said it all.
2 years ago, Trish goes, "Do you want to go on a podcast?" Never in a million dream would she be like having this interview 2 years ago, and where this journey's taking us. But there we go. So,
well, I must say, I can't wait to meet you guys.
Yeah, we'll be there. We'll organise to meet up in the afternoon when you come.
Yeah, that's what we did last time, wasn't it?
And Heartland Grenades for sure. But yeah, cool.
So you guys are not in the same place.
Yeah, we work in the same place. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we work in the same place. So, we're good friends. So, but there we go. But but generally, about 3 or 4 of my people on the show are work for me, and then other people we've known through different friendships and stuff. There's 7 of us that do it over. So I split them into 2 groups, but Trish in both groups. But there we go.
Well, what I was asking though, Nigel, is are you guys in the same location?
The same town, same small town.
Same town. Okay.
But not the same.
Yeah, so I'll drive when we come to the gig.
In
Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Cool. Brilliant.
But thank you so much, and also to the rest of the band as well, and have a safe journey over to the UK.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Oh, do you know what the most fascinating thing, Trish? After our meeting with, we did an interview with I don't know if you've heard of him, called Coritney, and his name is Lex Coritney. Fascinating interview, and you've been the total opposite in the sense of both fascinating, but you notice that Jimmy did not swear once.
No, he didn't.
She didn't swear once.
Was I supposed to?
I'm just saying.
You can be whatever you want to be, but Lex certainly did.
Lex is an Australian guy who literally from the moment, and I mean, if you get a chance to listen to the interview, it's just the funniest interview. And he is just a superstar. He was just amazing, amazing character as well. But no, you're just as fascinating. Just because you didn't swear doesn't mean you're not fascinating. You've been an absolutely fascinating interview.
Thank you.
Well, I'll tell you what. Our live show, we actually don't swear either. It's just something we don't do. Now, not saying we don't swear in general.
No, yeah.
But there's no curse words in our songs. We don't say anything on the mic to like rile people up. You know, we're using those kind of words. We can do it without that.
You just do your music. That'll rouse the crowds up just by itself. So, well, listen, I am super excited to see you. Super excited for next year when you bring your album out, and super excited to hear you dedicating a song to Trish in Bournemouth.
Yes.
Oh God.
Yes.
Oh.
Don't be shy now, Trish, when we call you out.
She won't be. She'll have a few gins by then. She'll be fine. So,
okay.
I'll be down front.
All right, perfect.
Mate, Jimmy, it's been a fantastic interview. Thank you very much for joining us, all the way from Orlando, or rather than Fort Lauderdale. And good luck with the tour. And I hope people come in droves to see you because you've got a great sound and you and Heartland Grenades. Going to make it interesting, and obviously, was it two for one? Is that right?
No, the Hot 1 2 and Mikey Ball and the company.
It's a bit like me and you, Trish. The Hot 1 2. What can I say?
Yeah,
there we are.
Hot 1 2.
I should remember that. That's how I'm going to remember it.
Oh my God, help me!
The Hot Nights, Trish. There we are. So obviously, our number one.
Well, I wanted to say thank you from me and Soulswitch. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. Look forward to meeting the rest of the guys.
No, thank you.
Brilliant
I'll send you the link and blog to the interview.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Good stuff. And share, please.
Share.
Brilliant. Thank you. Jimmy, look after yourself and safe journey here, and look forward to meeting you in August. All the best for now, and take care.
You too.
Bye.
You guys have a great evening.
Yeah. Bye.